Yeah, my name's Steve Charlesworth. I'm the managing director of What Printers Want and another company, Matoria Equipment Limited. My main business is supplying consumables to the print industry, which I've done now for the last 7 years. Before I'd been contacted Insolvency Law, I'd been dealing with the customer. They'd always been slow payers, but eventually they did pay each time. I got a message from a disgruntled employee who told me that the company had set up a second company to which they were going to transfer all their assets and then dump the creditors of the company. He gave me the name of the new company, which I checked on Companies House, and there it was. So I contacted the customer and said to them I needed paying. Now, the oldest invoice I had was for May the 15th last year. So they've gradually been taking longer and longer to pay, and they've been building up a bigger and bigger debt. I said to them, this has got to stop. I need some money out of you guys. You owe me £9,480. And they said, well, we are paying you, whatever. So I said, well, look, you've registered another company name. I can see what you're going to do. At which point they went mad. They were not happy that I found out this information. Anyway, they agreed to send me a cheque. This was on a Thursday, and the cheque arrived on Monday morning, the following Monday, and it was for £641. Out of the £9,480, they'd only paid me £641. I was livid. I contacted a friend who I knew had dealt with this sort of situation before, and he gave me the name of Insolvency Law. I contacted Insolvency Law and spoke to Peter Murray. Peter looked up the company name that had been registered and looked up the existing company and told me, yes, the assets were still in the original company, but yes, he could see they'd been building up debts with various people not paying their bills and owed nearly £500,000 to people. Very worrying indeed. The new company showed with no assets. It had been registered on February the 6th, but nothing had been transferred into it at that point. Peter said to me if I wanted to get it sorted, I needed to pay him today and move fast if I was going to have any chance to get my money back. I thought about it for about 3 seconds and said, yes, do it. I transferred by backs the payment to get it underway. I couldn't believe the speed things happened. I got that money over to Peter at 4 o'clock. He sent me 2 pieces of paper I had to sign, which I did and got back to him. And the next morning, 11 o'clock, a winding up petition was in place. He contacted me, told me that he needed the email addresses of the directors and the accounts department at the company, and he contacted them. My God, did they move fast. He phoned me back an hour later and said I'd caught them right in the middle of doing what they were going to do. They were in absolute panic, and by about 4 o'clock that afternoon, I had my money. I had all of my money and the legal bill. I'm really pleased he did that, because 2 weeks after that, they did exactly what we thought they were going to do. They paid off the finance on the printing press, transferred all of the assets of the company into the new company, and wound the company that had owed me the money up. It was gone. No chance of getting my money. The other creditors who hadn't done what I'd done lost £500,000 between them. Previously to speaking to Insolvency Law, when I'd had this type of situation, all I've been able to do is ring up, phone, chase, visit the people. But if they just blanked you, it was a real problem. I had tried county court judgments, but people just ignore them, and it gives them 30 days to shift the money around, and then they challenge it, and that gives them another 30 days, and it's just been a total waste of money in the past. So I didn't want to go down that route this time. I wanted something a little bit more aggressive and something that was going to get me my money back fast. In the past, I've had companies run up big bills, and you chase and chase and chase. 2 years ago, I lost 13,000 plus on another company that had genuinely gone bust. For months, I tried getting the money out of them. I just didn't get anywhere. I tried all sorts, going down and seeing them, trying to get any form of payment I could, but it just did not work. Now, after dealing with insolvency law, I wouldn't bother. I would just go straight to the court with the insolvency law, get a petition, wind them up and get my money. I'm not willing to spend the time messing around anymore. My first conversation with Peter about this situation was very helpful. I'd never dealt with a winding up petition before, and Peter just explained exactly what the process was, what my options were, how long it would take, and he explained that customers could ignore other forms of judgments, county court judgments, but they couldn't ignore a winding up petition. That was them shut down. So yes, he was extremely helpful and understanding that I didn't know what the process was. Before I contacted Insolvency Law, I was worried. I just did not think I would get my money back. I'd never used a company like Insolvency Law before. I'd always tried the county court judgment and the local solicitor situation, and that had been a waste of time, and I couldn't afford to lose to £9,480. It was going to hurt me. If you're sitting on the fence, don't. These people don't pay. You need to hit that button and shut them down and stop it happening. If you keep on trading with them, you're just going to get yourself more in debt. Don't. Get Insolvency in Law. Stop them. Get your money. I would definitely recommend Insolvency in Law. In fact, I have already, one of my customers, and he got his money back the same day. He spoke to Peter first thing in the morning. I told him exactly what I did, and he did exactly the same, handed Peter over the court fees. Peter went straight after the customer, and by the end of that day, when the petition turned up, the customer paid straight away, money straight into my customer's bank account. So yes, and in fact, in my car, I've got a pack of Insolvency Law business cards, which I've been giving to my customers, because the printing industry is a mess with people not paying their bills, and it is really bugging and it's wrecking the industry. There's people doing pre-pracs all over the place, and they just see it as a way of starting again. But it's the suppliers who get screwed every time. So I carry those cards and I tell people, don't stand for it. Shut the buggers down.